Hey there, and welcome back to Golf Karting TV. My name is Matt with Golf Karting TV. Thrilled to have you here today for an amazing build that we're going to jump into this thing. Brian from 360 Golf Carts in Greenville, North Carolina, blew this thing out of the water. I can't even describe it, so let's just jump in. I'm here today with Brian from 360 Carts, and excited to see what he's got here today. I saw this thing online and had to talk to him. So Brian, why don't you introduce yourself, tell me where you're from, a little bit about the business, and then we'll jump into this cart.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Brian Harris, owner of 360 Golf Carts here in Greenville, North Carolina. As far as this cart, we kind of do one off-the-wall custom, just as much as we can do, at least one per year. This one, I had a little inspiration from the guys over at Kart Kings, and they had built a pretty awesome three-wheeler rat rod. And as soon as I saw it, I said, man, I got to build a rat rod. And that kind of gave me a little bit of inspiration. And then we kind of went to the drawing board and designed this. And this is the creation.
That's awesome. So what was it to begin with? So before we get into the details of what you've done, what did it start as?
It was actually a 1991 EZGO Marathon. Customer had actually brought it in to have batteries put in. And once he found out how much batteries were going to cost, and he said, man, I don't know if this cart's worth it. But as I looked at it, it was a very clean cart. And he said, how much would you charge me to haul it off? And I was like, our standard $40 pickup delivery fee. He was like, well, here's $60. Take care of it for me. I'll go buy another one. And he kind of looked at some of the other ones we had and ended up buying one of those. But
nice.
When I got underneath and put this cart on the lift and saw how clean it was, I actually called him back and I was like, man, where's this cart been at? And he said it's actually been in a garage for about 30 years, which is why it's rusted, which is pretty hard to find on an old EZGO. So,
all right, Brian. So let's take a close look at this thing. It certainly does not look like a 1991. Did you say 1991 EZGO? So start at the front. Tell me what you've got going on here.
All right. So on the front, we did away with the original plastic fascia. Did a custom cutout piece and integrated a light bar into that, just so it kind of be seamless there. We did use the newer style EZGO leaf springs to bring out the front end to where it wouldn't scrub the fenders. Was able to grab a 3-inch EZGO lowering kit, which you know anything about those, they've been extinct for quite a while. So we were able to get lucky and find one of those. Had to custom weld the extension for the steering shaft. And our plan is to do away with the spacers, obviously, and eventually over the winter, when we have more time, cut the front axle and the rear axle and extend those out so we can do away with the spacers. But we needed the spacers for the look, and we were building this cart, for a festival that was coming up pretty quick, so we were kind of running out of time.
Yeah, so those spacers are what, like 3 inches, 2 inches, something like that?
Yeah, they're double 3 inches on each side. So each wheel has 6 inches of spacers. And believe it or not, I got about 200 miles on this cart now, and the bearings are still holding up. So
that's impressive.
Tweaking yet, which is what I was really worried about.
So tell me a little bit more about what you had to do to stretch out that kind of front end, basically. So what you did, obviously, what would originally have been there was those wheels and the axle would have been set up underneath the body there. So you had to pull that out. So can you explain to me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the newer style, like 2015 and up EZGO leaf springs are a lot longer. So that's going to bring out everything. Did have to make custom shock mounts and adjust that. The guys over at GC Mod got us the steering conversion. So we did do the 4-bolt steering conversion with all new components on like the newer EZGOs. Just kind of did away with all the older stuff on this marathon, pretty much except for the body. The body and some of the rubber trim pieces, which are very hard to find, we kind of left those alone and redid those ourselves.
And then just speaking of the body, you have kind of a patina type of a paint job? Is that just a custom
So,
paint, or how did you get that?
yeah, so it's actually not a paint job. The inspiration we had was originally going to be a paint job, and then I thought, what if we rust it? And then I got thinking about these marathon panels are actually stainless steel, and if you know about stainless steel does not rust. So
Right.
we had to acid dip the panels to get the chromium out. And once we did that, then we came back with a mixture of salt, vinegar, hydrogen peroxide, and rusted the panels over several days until we got the color that we wanted. And then after that, did a matte clear over it.
That's awesome. Good thing. Good. That's every time I do these things, I'm just impressed with the creativity that you guys have. That's so cool. So then
It's
you've got
definitely
those,
taking
looks
a
like
lot.
some, yeah, yes. You got some custom mirrors, and it looks like they've got lights on it. So is it officially street legal or street ready?
It is officially street legal. Turn signals, lights all the way around. Um, we have the EcoX gear, Sound Extreme speakers, lights that are all integrated into the brake pedal and turn signals as well.
And tell me about your wheel and tire setup. What have you got there?
Well, of course, our guys over at Golf Cart King and MODZ really looked after us, and these wheels were on back order, but Dan got me going over there, and as soon as he got them in, he sent them on my way, and they're the 23 by 10 by 14s with the 10-inch wide bronze MODZ wheels. So that's exactly the look I was going over, is the widest wheel I could get possible, but with a bronze look that would kind of set off everything.
Yeah, it definitely plays with the whole color theme. That's sweet. And then tell me, so what do you got running this thing? What's under the seat there?
So under the seat, we kind of just did we didn't want to go too fast with it. Went with a Navitas DC kit instead of the AC, just because this was going to be a cruiser, 35-mile-an-hour max, which is about what it runs. Um, we have a Alpine lithium prototype battery. This battery has not hit the market yet. We are testing it out for them, and so far so good. It's 105 amp hours packed into the smallest box possible. Has integrated in the middle, so you can still put a strap across it and strap it down. Lots of custom wiring here. Um, we have two Sound Extreme amplifiers here. One for the mono block for the subwoofer, and the other one's a 4-channel for the 4 speakers in the back. These are the EV amps, so they can run directly off the lithium. No need for a voltage reducer or anything with those.
Nice. And it is nice and clean, like you said. So you do all that custom wiring work yourself?
All custom wiring. That was probably the most time spent on the cart, was planning and running all the wire to get it as clean as possible. But
Yeah.
there are a lot of wires. There's lights and speakers everywhere, and speedometer and everything else. So
Yeah.
um,
Well,
we have
as
a
we're looking, yeah, tell me a little bit about that's sweet. I didn't even notice that. That's awesome.
so we it obviously started out as one of the chrome steering wheels, and we had to take it, rust it, do the same thing as the rest of the body to kind of get it to match. But I think it turned out pretty good with that. Keyless ignition on here, up to an Android Auto screen. Everything comes on. Have the mic tuning block, so you can have uh, all your accessories hooked up to that. Easy to press buttons there. Got your EcoX gear, which controls all the lights on everything. Speedometer, battery meter. Um, you got your turn signal lights in there. And like I was saying with the turn signals, so everything's integrated with there, as well as the speakers.
That's awesome. It's like a piece
Everything.
of art. It's like a piece of art. I mean, it's so cool. You've paid attention to all the little details. That's awesome.
That's what we pride ourselves on, is making sure all the details are good, because it's the little things that people actually notice. And I mean, if it's got one minor hiccup, it can kind of ruin the whole project.
Right. So tell me about the speaker setup. I know you mentioned there were several. You've got a sub and you've got several other speakers. So tell me what you've got there in the front, and then kind of walk me around the back.
So 10-inch subwoofer by EcoX Gear Sound Extreme. Right now we got it set on the Halloween colors, the green and orange. We had it in a Halloween parade this past weekend. But trying to fit a 10-inch sub into that floorboard was not the easiest, but we made it just barely fit.
That's cool.
Got the 4 6.5s back here. GTW box that we took and rusted, and made a little custom box for the speakers with plexiglass, our logo in it. Did the old wood theme to kind of go with the rat rod.
Yeah.
So a lot of distressed wood. Did the metal brackets that go down just like in a actual rat rod. Little custom airbrushing logo on the back.
And is that little panel on top of the box, does that just allow you to get in there to make some tweaks or get access to something like that, like over the logo there?
Yeah. So let me grab the key for that. So
Gotcha.
able to get in here. If you notice right here, we have a food grade pump. That's because you can't ever stay dry while you're out riding in the neighborhood. And you actually have a dispenser of your choice on the back.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Very cool. So that front end with the logo is just clear plexiglass, and those LEDs is what lights that logo from behind.
Yep, just plexiglass. We did a frosted tint on it, and then obviously your LEDs that'll change any color you want.
Awesome. So what's that? Show me underneath in the back, if you don't mind, like suspension and that kind of stuff.
So as far as the suspension, we went with a newer style EZGO rear end. We did have to make custom leaf spring brackets on the back just to get it to stop scrubbing the fender as much, which obviously will be helped out once we're able to cut and extend the axle on the back. For the motor, we got a MODZ high-speed motor back there. LED tail lights. We have backup lights and rear view camera. It all goes up there. Did away with the shocks on the back, which are kind of useless on EZGOs anyway. But it'll definitely help out once we're able to extend that axle.
And is that little hip restraint armrest thing, is that custom built, or was that something that was there?
That was actually the factory hip restraints that we took off and custom painted. The thing, we kind of color matched a lot of the stuff with the wheels. So color match that, color match the seal plates, the steering wheel cover, pretty much any of the accent pieces, the dash, everything's color matched to the wheels.
And tell me about those seats. What do you got there?
So we got the Lazy Life custom seats. I believe they're the deluxe custom, I want to say. Can't remember the exact name. Extremely comfortable. The black part is actually their Cool Touch black leather. So I think it's about 20% cooler in the sun. You can actually sit on it without burning your legs.
Yeah.
And the brown is actually a briar color. Just kind of gives it that older tone. And then the Escalade stitching and our logo embroidered in the middle. They did a fantastic job on these seats.
Yeah, not only do they look good, but they do look comfortable. So I'll take your word for that. But yeah,
Absolutely.
Well done. Very cool. So when you're driving this thing around and people see it, what's the first response whenever you're talking to somebody?
Everybody goes, "What is that?" And then usually the next question follows, "How much?"
Yeah,
And,
there you go.
right now, it's kind of something I've wanted to do for a while. And usually, I mean, I don't even have my own golf cart. I just kind of take one home as I need it because I get bored with things pretty quick. I like to have a new golf cart around the house about every month or two. But this one's kind of stuck with me since I built it, and I'm not sure if I'm quite ready to get rid of it yet. But I'm sure that
Yeah.
day will come.
And when they say what is it, like, do you have to explain to them that it's a golf cart, or do
Yeah.
they just kind of don't know what's the base? Like, what in the world is? That's awesome.
And when I tell them it's a golf cart, and I tell them it's an EZGO, they go, no way. So then I have to pull up the original photos of, how it started as an old Carolina Blue 91 EZGO. And people were just kind of amazed by it. And then
We'll
that
have to
usually
get
gets me a little
those.
more business.
Yeah. Awesome, Brian. Well, this is so cool. I really appreciate you taking the time and walking us around. This is like I said, when I saw it, I had to get it, and then we met like the next day or something in
Yeah.
Charleston. So that worked out
Yeah.
wonderfully. So
Great golf cart and expo, by the way.
appreciate that.
Y'all guys did fantastic on that. We will definitely
Appreciate
be
that.
there every year moving forward.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Cool, man. Well, I appreciate the time. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
I know I said it on the while I was talking to him, but that thing is like a piece of art. I mean, talk about the details and everything that he went through to make that just look just right. From the dipping to make it rusted to the, I mean, just that's insane. I say it all the time. I'm impressed by the creativity of these guys that can do this stuff. So really, really cool. Hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. If you haven't already, be sure to like, subscribe, share, do all the fun things so that all your golf cart buddies can take a look at that cart and love it just like we did. Hope to see you here again next week, every Thursday at noon. We've got a new episode dropping. See you then.